Hi, hello, welcome back to another Onkruid video, welcome back to another unedited Soulstone Survivors video, where we are still playing with the Pyromancer, still trying to get him to level 170, I believe. 10 levels too short to go into darts commentator cosplay mode, but I think 170 is the level we are trying to achieve. We are going for a minion build yet again. Last time didn't have that much success at achieving a minion build, but if I do remember correctly, we had quite some success during the run, or maybe that was off camera. I have no idea. I can't really separate them anymore. Kinda been on hold in terms of recording lately a little bit again. Just had a lot of plans and stuff. I'm not gonna go too crazy. Did I just say plants or plans? Because I meant plants, of course. I am not a gardener. But I am excited to record some more this week whenever I have the chance. It's kind of hard to tell whether I will have the chance too often. I think not really, because tomorrow is quite a long work day. And then after work I think we're meeting up with some friends. Tuesday is a really long work day and I have to pick up my girlfriend from the airport. Or I'm gonna pick up my girlfriend from the airport together with my mom. I don't really have to be there, but I want to. Wednesday I'm gonna be away from my gaming computer for a while first before I actually arrive in Leuven, and then in the evening me and Krogrin, who you know from the channel, we're gonna have a nice dinner together. Me, Krogrin and both of our girlfriends is a more appropriate way of describing the plans that are about to go down there. I'm still looking for minion skills, but no luck so far. I do feel like we're already a little strong though. Are we gonna keep the Dark Swarm? I don't want to bet on it, you know, we might replace it. Bloodlust is fine because that will also help as soon as we get minions. Now all we're looking for is just the minions, you know. Some lethality, we're going for critical damage as well. If you don't get minions with this type of build, well, you're going to be having a rough time because we have commanding presence. All damage we deal is reduced by 40%, but the amount of the damage happens by units. Jesus Christ. The amount of damage caused by units that we summon is increased by 40%. As I said, been a little while since I have recorded again, so it might take a little while as well for me to completely get back into it. And now we are just refreshing the active skills until we find that goated with the sauce sought after minion skill, or well, quite a bunch of them. But we have singular focus, so one minion skill is enough really if we find 5 copies of it. 6. Well, 6 is okay, it's cool I guess, but then again we have Arcane Power, we have Bloodlust, so we are already gonna draw 2 cards and give 3 attack to all our friendly characters, so we're quite strong. 2 respect points if you got that reference, but still, I do respect you. I know that it's not quite an abundant amount of respect points, but I hope you realize that I just think that some of the people on this channel will definitely be based Hearthstone enjoyers. Although I must say that I'm not a based Hearthstone enjoyer myself anymore. I have gone quite hard into these 2 arcane skills, so I think I'm gonna keep them as well. I think I would feel comfortable with replacing Dark Swarm with minions, and then possibly Arcane Power, but I need to think about that. This makes it so that I can take a whole bunch of upgrades for those arcane skills as well, because we still have 2 of them. And now let's hope that we already have some damage to get rid of these bosses in a quick manner. I think if our bunnies just line up perfectly, that we should be fine. Let's get into our concentration mode and try and just wreak some havoc. Still, for some reason, enjoy this game. It doesn't ever feel like a chore to record it. And I feel like Noita is slowly but surely becoming like that, or beginning to feel that way. I don't always feel the need to boot up Noita anymore. I'm just like, I don't really feel like playing this. I think that's gonna show in terms of my enthusiasm and stuff, and therefore I decided to record a little bit less Noita lately, which you have probably noticed on the Onkruid channel. But then, whenever I record and upload a Noita video, I see the views skyrocket, so that's where the doubts come in. Not that the views are of course the most important thing, but they are a nice external piece of motivation. And external motivation can also be strong. Internal motivation is of course stronger, but we have been down that commentary road multiple times. Some would say umpteen times, some would say a bit too many times on the Onkruid channel. many and not much because it is a countable noun object, countable item. I was pretending to be like very smart and knowledgeable about the English language, and then I just completely lost my train of thought, so I kind of shot myself in the foot, which is also an amazing song by Chase and Status. Yeah, I think it is Chase and Status. Shot myself in the foot again, and then I don't know how the rest of it goes, but I know that's part of the lyrics. It's quite an old song already though, for sure. Multicast is very nice for when you are going a minion build, even though right now our build is not really that much of a minion build yet. How far are we along in our concentration creation journey? Quite far, but not far enough to actually look out for the portal yet. But we are already doing like a little bit of damage to these lords. Now the portal should be spawning, and it is right above us in the middle of the enemy flamethrower. Let's wait that out, and I'm not talking about the amazing Vuurwerk song. Yeah. Alright, and now we can start going ham. Fateful Strikes we already have. Here we go. It's popping off. It's all coming together. 2 Frenzied Bunny's abilities, and now just keep on stacking up upgrades for them. And then you guys will hopefully be able to witness the power. Multicast for Bomb. I think that's better than Impending Doom, because I think that we are more focused on a burst build now because of these exploding bunnies. I don't know if you noticed the boss health bars disappearing, but you can look at it right now, and it's gone. And I'm not talking about a South Park reference. Damn, he is kind of goated with the sauce with all the references today. My brain feels active, it feels alive. Sure, Venomous we already have for sure. Yeah, we might keep Arcane Power because it's already level 6, but I might replace Bloodlust because I think that attack speed is not amazing for these bunnies because they explode. So yeah, we don't actually need to have attack speed for them. I think we are creating an absolute army. Multicast for all the seasonal abilities, thank you very much. Our upgrades are kind of aligning. I did notice that when my Arcane Power popped, it also popped onto the bunnies that were alive at that moment. Does it maybe cause their explosion to happen multiple times? It is possible. It is possible. Somebody who is a bit more knowledgeable about game design might be able to tell you that, but me, I'm just vibing over here, man. I'm just chilling, you know? It's a Sunday evening. The work week is gonna start tomorrow. Feeling a little tired, but I was like, if I am gonna get a video in, it has to be right now. But after recording this, I'm definitely gonna go straight to sleep. Sleeping in the sofa for now because my girlfriend is still out of town. And I love sleeping in the sofa, but additionally it makes me feel less lonely in the bed potentially. Maybe a little bit. Maybe that's part of the reasoning, but maybe that's something I wouldn't actually like to admit on camera because it sounds a little weak and pathetic. Or it sounds in touch with my emotions and not afraid to be vulnerable. Which is something male persons can learn something from, of course. Kind of the antidote of toxic masculinity, being open about your emotions. And something a lot of males still experience trouble with. And we can't blame them. We need to blame society. You're a crazy breed. Hope you're not lonely without me. Yeah, I think that's the lyrics by Eddie Vedder. Pearl Jam singer. Know the song from Into the Wild though. Great movie. One of my girlfriend's favorite movies also, and she definitely infected me with the disease that is love for that movie. I'm glad to be next to Patient Zero though in this case, because it definitely appealed to my fancy, made me think about life a little bit, made me appreciate nature and appreciate the fact that I am privileged to both live in Western society and be able to enjoy my life here a little bit. And that I don't have to regress into primitive stances and primitive ways of life to actually feel enjoyment. But it is an absolutely stunning movie. In the wild forests of Alaska is where most of it takes place. I don't know if it's most of it, because I think that his time in Alaska is only part of the movie. I think that his journey there is definitely a very, very important part as well. Some of the people he meets, they contain some amazing storylines, the meetings. Especially the one old guy that almost tries to take him in as his son. That really broke my heart the first time I watched the movie. I believe I have watched it 2 times already. The old guy that wanted to take him in. And then additionally, because he was lonely, I feel like. Don't quite remember it, it's been a while. And then additionally the kind of trailer couple that also harbors him for a while, gives him a roof above his head for a while. They are also very, very fun people. He meets a diverse cast. Alexander Supertramp. Cinematography, beautiful, but not the most important part. That movie is way more about the story and the characters than it is about the actual images, the actual scenery, the nature shots, the cool filming techniques. No, it's about the story being told and the meaning behind it. Soundtrack's also buzzing, but I do think that definitely a lot of people will agree with me that the story and the characters, the actual humans, the personas we meet in that movie are of the utmost importance to make it a box office classic. I could watch it again in a heartbeat, for sure. Just so enjoyable. And it's not just because there's a couple of scenes where there is this, what is it, Danish Scandinavian couple where the woman has her breasts out the entire time. It's of course a nice bonus, but not what I am living for. It's just a great premise as well. And it also shows you beautifully, in my opinion, how like, alright, cool to make such a decision, very honorable, very sick, but the amount of damage you cause in other people's lives by leaving. How worried the parents always were and stuff. That's of course something you need to take into account as well, and something Alexander Supertramp didn't really take into account because he was just like, no, I want to go into nature and that's that. Kind of reminds me of what I'm reading about right now in the book The Alchemist, about a guy who just wants to travel. He doesn't want to live the life that is set out for him. Is it purely to be like kind of resistant towards the systems that are overarching you and controlling you, that you want to do something else just for the sake of doing something else? I don't know. I think it really is, exactly as is stated in The Alchemist, way more about thinking about your own mission in life and trying to complete it. I think that is way more what the movie Into the Wild is also about. Way more than just opposing the system and being like a rebel. Let's make sure we don't lose this run. And just chill for a second, please. Increase damage, yes. Increase quantity, yes as well. If they just correctly identify the lords that they are supposed to be hitting instead of all the small minions, we should be winning in a heartbeat here, but they do seem to have quite a hard time figuring out exactly where to go. Just dash a little bit through here, get a bit closer to the lord so that our arcane spells can hit him as well, and there we go. A nice and clean, simple little run. I'm not going to go into endless shenanigans because I do have to go to sleep to be a productive clinical psychologist tomorrow, but that was a run that we shouldn't be ashamed about. 39 more levels to go. That's gonna be a lot of runs. We're really gonna head into the 200 episodes instead of just 100, I think, in this game. But for now, I don't mind at all in the slightest, not even for 1 second. Critical damage is cool and all, but maybe, well, it seems to be all critical damage. Maximum health, nothing to sneeze at as well. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.